Celebrations were happening all year long to commemorate long-lasting businesses and organizations. So let's run them down as they happened. Maison Sabika kicked off their 25th year in the community. The restaurant is a mainstay in Naperville, not just because of its status as a historic landmark, but also because of all the work owner Hussein Jamali and his staff do for those in need.
I do believe that whatever I earn is not really all mine. I can spend a certain amount of it on my needs and family needs and some of our wants, but the rest I feel like it needs to be given to those in need.
Another year-long celebration was enjoyed by the Park District, honoring 50 years of service to Naperville.
Residents here had already enjoyed open spaces, not only in the farms, but also in the parks that were already in existence. So being able to manage growth with open space and recreational opportunities became the fundamental focus of the park board.
They've grown from only 31 programs and 3,000 participants to hundreds today. 40 years ago, a new school came to town. Well, Bonzi Valley may now be a high school, but in its early days, it had another purpose.
When I came to Bonzi Valley in '79, there were 400 and some kids, grades 6 through 12. It was Bonzi Valley Junior Senior High School. We had no junior highs or middle schools to speak of.
Since then, they've become known for their championship sports teams, top educators, award-winning academic programs, and for bridging the gaps between communities. This March, the Carillon was lit up in blue and yellow in honor of the Rotary of Naperville celebrating 75 years of service.
It's about being that best you can be and using the talents that you've been given to make the world better for other people.
Since its founding on March 31st, 1941, the Rotary has been using the talents of each individual member to raise money for charity. Over 9 years, their Soups On fundraiser alone brought in more than $900,000. And this year, they added a new event, Festival. 5 years before the Rotary came on scene, a new business took root. What began as Emma's Perennials eventually evolved into the Growing Place. And for the past 80 years, the family business has been a favorite of area gardeners. Originally offering perennials raised solely from the ground, they grew into a shop to include greenhouses, beds, annuals, and shrubs.
People could then take what they wanted and leave and ask a few questions, but then it wasn't so time-consuming as well.
There's also a second location in Aurora. Dominique Martucci has been living the sweet life for 15 years. That's how long she's had ownership of Naper Nuts and Sweets.
You're not just surrounded by wonderful sweets and chocolates, but you have happy customers and you have happy employees. But at the end of the day, it is just candy, and I'm so grateful to be a part of something I loved so much as a kid.
She's turned that love into a way to feed another passion of hers. Her Operation Caramel Corn program produces 1,000 bags of caramel corn a week to go to military serving overseas. For 50 years, Summer Place Theater has brought the tunes of the times right here to Naperville. Doc Shanauer created the company back in 1966. And though he passed away just shy of their anniversary this year, the group remains committed to maintaining his vision.
You get people from all walks of life. They all come to be a part of this one cohesive group and, just perform on the stage.
This summer, they performed their show 50 Years of Musicals, highlighting how far they've come throughout the years. It's hard to imagine Naperville without the Riverwalk. The crown jewel of our town celebrated its 35th anniversary this summer, and one of its architects recalled the work that went into its creation.
There was just a small group of people. That was Jim Mosier and myself, Bill Lewis from the city, Hal Dixon, and Larry Gregory. So there was 5 or 6 of us that were really the heart of the whole thing. It's a beautiful way to do business.
As word about the project got around, volunteers came together, donating time and materials to make this cornerstone of our community. The Willowbrook Wildlife Center has been a part of the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County for 60 years, caring for animals, then releasing them back into the wild when ready.
Over time, it ends up being that somebody doesn't just bring you a bird, they bring you a raccoon and a possum or a bunny, and that's how they end up deciding that this is going to actually be wildlife rehabilitation as a whole and not just birds.
The center has expanded their focus from wildlife rehabilitation to include education. Known locally as the Tavern on the Corner, the Lantern has been serving customers for 50 years.
Physically, it's changed a little bit over the years, but not a whole lot. In a town like Naperville, where things change so much, and we have so many new places, which is great. It's nice to have the old favorite on the corner.
The Naperville staple has been owned and operated by the Feldot family since its start in 1966. If there's a story in town to tell, Positively Naperville is on the scene, sharing community memories for 15 years. Founder Stephanie Pennick has made it her mission to share the brighter side of the news.
I am also a writer at the Daily Herald. I write a column there, and when I started writing that column in 1999, I started getting loads and loads and loads of stories about things happening in Naperville that never saw print.
With her son Tim's help, the paper has gone digital and daily, highlighting small businesses, special events, and volunteerism throughout the community. For 40 years, the Western DuPage Special Recreation Association has partnered with the Naperville Park District, ensuring that there are programs specifically tailored to all individual needs.
It could be anything from an adaptive piece of equipment. It could be just us going in and training the staff a little bit at the Park District about how to restructure the program. Or it could be that they need one-on-one assistance, and that's what we provide.
With the opening of the Fort Hill Activity Center this year, even more options are now available, as part of over 1,000 programs in town to involve and include those with special needs. What do you get for a 30th anniversary? For the Nichols Library, $2.3 million in renovations was a welcome gift. Electrical updates, more outlets, new furniture, and flooring were just some of the changes made to help bring the space up to date and more comfortable for visitors.
They'll stay longer and perhaps discover new materials that they haven't looked at before and be exposed to something new and use their imagination and better themselves.
Their grand reopening was held in November.